and I prompted a question. And I said, I have a hallucination that things like this don't just happen to me. However, we don't really hear about it in social media world of pharmacy. What we do tend to hear about are all the negative parts of the job. But the positive parts, the stories like this, aren't told. So I put a challenge to you guys. I said, if you have a story like this of a patient, of a colleague, or anyone in your career, regardless of where you are, as a pharmacy student, as a pharmacist, I want you to post it in the comments below and share that, because I'm going to make a podcast episode, because there are tons of us that are struggling.
I see my victory so clear. I see my victory so clear. And today, we break through. And today, we break through. And today, we break through. And today.
So the next story is from follower Lulu525600. And she says, there are too many conversations, cards, and phone calls to count. I've been blessed to serve so many gracious and compassionate patients. It's easy to forget about those moments when you're feeling frazzled. The story that has stuck with me the most was a patient back in 2018. This person was new to our charitable pharmacy and needed help accessing Eliquis. It took me a long time, but I got it worked out. I went back into the appointment room and was braced for the worst, because it had been quite a long wait. But the patient burst into tears when they saw the filled Eliquis script in my hand. Seeing this reaction stopped me in my tracks. I wasn't thinking about the other fires that needed put out. I didn't care that the phone was ringing. I just gave this patient a hug and was so thankful that my coworkers and I could lift such weight off this person's shoulders. You never know what someone's going through. A lot of times, people come in smiling, but in reality, they're smiling for the camera and dying behind the scenes. So always realize that you never know what someone's going through, and that interaction could be the moment that they thought they weren't worthy of, the moment that they thought wasn't possible in their darkness. But when you show up with the intention of asking, how can I make someone's day today? How can I dispense more than medication and genuinely be a hope dealer? That is how you take your pharmacy practice to the next level. Your level of care for your patients, your level of fulfillment in your position, and changing your pharmacist role from just a job to a fulfilling career. This intention, seeking this sort of outcome, is what will empower you to find what you're looking for. Seek and you shall find. Ask and it shall be given. These are the intentions that will make the difference in uplifting your career to a level that makes you literally smile and look forward to each day. Not to minimize the challenges, but when you look for these things, you'll find them. This is the next story. This is actually from, I believe, a patient. Not of mine, but from the context, I believe it's a patient. So it's from Umu_Hosa, who says, there was a guy I met who was also a pharmacist, and one day I met him at my local pharmacy close to work. Dude had a heart of gold. I remember one day walking in, my ears in pain, and I could not find relief. This was about 3 a.m. in the morning in the middle of winter. He prescribed me some Advil and some antihistamine after I gave him the background story of my issue that had disappeared when I was 12 post-surgery to fix it, and suddenly came back after I gave birth. I'll never forget him. So this is years ago, this interaction happened. And that genuine interaction, that care, stuck with this person for years. And that's what I'm telling you guys. You never know the impact that this can have. And sometimes you never get that feedback. But these stories hopefully will inspire you to keep planting these seeds of care, of kindness, so that it can grow into something and perhaps even allow others to pay it forward and do the same to other people in their life. So this one is from follower Karis14, who says, I'm a new pharmacy technician at a retail pharmacy. And when I carefully packed a lady's store items and meds in her paper bag, she said I did a good job and that usually people just throw everything in the bag. She said it's an art form to what I did. And then she went on to say, definitely paying it forward to the next cashier who is caring. So here's the situation. This is a hard to hear and really hard to put into practice, but real truth mantra for living. How you do anything is how you do everything. So when a patient sees someone ringing them up at the register and not just tossing stuff in the bag, but actually taking care with each item that obviously was important enough for that patient because they literally spent money on it, and to put care into putting it in the bag and showing that it actually mattered because it mattered to them, that probably either consciously or subconsciously put an idea in their head that said, wow, this team cares enough to be careful about the items I bought, the products. If they care that much about these little things, I bet they care a lot about the big things, like my prescriptions, my questions, my health, my family's health, maybe my neighbors and friends and other people that I care about. If they care about these little things so much, I can only imagine how much they care for people. I want to go to a pharmacy like this, and I want the people that I care about to go to a pharmacy like that too. You see how these little things can just expand into bigger ones. This not only is good practice from just being a good human being and care, but it's actually an excellent business strategy. Imagine if you had raving fans and advocates, patients who see your care, and they're literally telling all their friends and family about how much you care in going the extra mile and even the little things. That is invaluable because, as we know, pharmacy is extremely competitive. So regardless of your practice, regardless of your setting, this is invaluable to be seen as a person, a professional who actually cares about other people in all things they do. That's invaluable. And that is an exceptional personal brand to script through the actions you choose every single day, far beyond where you can even see. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Please let me know if you did. Send me a DM on Instagram at The Fit Pharmacist. Make sure if you are subscribed to the podcast on iTunes, the best way to help this grow is to please leave a 5-star rating and comment review on iTunes on the podcast. Please, please, please. That seriously helps so much. I cannot express that enough. For those of you that have been following for the 3+ years I've been doing this, thank you so much for your loyalty and support. This would not exist without your support. So I urge you to share this episode, to get this message out, and to allow us to be the change in pharmacy that we wish to see. This is Dr. Adam Martin of The Fit Pharmacist, challenging you to go forth, be great, and dispense your full potential. It all starts with you.
I see my victory so clear. I see my victory so clear.